Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Tina Koopersmith on the line, and she is a board-certified physician specializing in gynecology, fertility, and integrative medicine over at West Coast Women's Reproductive Center, located over in Sherman Oaks. Tina, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Nice to be here, Em.
So I'm really excited to get into a pretty big announcement you have coming up today about the Conscious Fertility Guide. So we're going to go into that, and I don't want to spoiler it all, but just to start out, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career?
So I think my becoming a doctor was both conscious and unconscious. When I was really young, I thought I wanted to be an interior designer or an architect, but I kind of didn't do well on a test in 7th grade, which told me I didn't have spatial relations. So I said, I guess I can't do that. So my family was sort of be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, or go into business. I really didn't know of any other careers. My dad was a doctor. My mom was a teacher. I liked science. So I was like, I guess I have to be a doctor. And then, if you're on the doctor route, right, you just kind of follow the guidelines and take the prereqs, and years and years and years and years later, you become a doctor. So I kind of did that track, although in college I was in a program where I actually got into med school second year of college, and they said, if you knew you were into med school, what would you do different? And so it allowed me to major in political science. It allowed me to study abroad. I kind of said I had to run a half marathon, which I didn't do until I was in my 40s, but so I've always been interested in the science and going down the route of being a doctor, but always having interests sort of outside. I tried to be a fellow in what was called a loose fellowship. It was I was a finalist, and it was to study in the Far East. I wanted to learn acupuncture, but I didn't get to do it. So I became a doctor instead.
So, Tina, I want to get into what you're doing over at West Coast Women's Reproductive Center over in Sherman Oaks, California. So first, tell us a little bit more about your practice, please.
So, I'm a gynecologist and reproductive endocrine fertility specialist by trade, classic Western trained physician. So for years, I've been taking care of women and doing evaluations for fertility and doing in vitro fertilization, inseminations, using fertility drugs, and all that kind of stuff, standard fertility practice. But in the last few years, I had some health problems and some interests, and I ended up doing an integrative medicine fellowship. And so now I'm trying to merge the integrative medicine with the gynecology and fertility practice.
Wow, and that's really unique, I would argue, in your field. So to really focus on both sides of things. Normally, it's kind of one or the other. Would you agree, or what do you think there?
Yeah, I think, in the fertility world, a lot of people are talking holistic words, and they're sending patients to acupuncturists and calling it integrative medicine, or, we accept acupuncture too. And I think I'm a little more holistic. We've hired naturopaths for the office. We have a massage therapist in the office. We had a psychotherapist. We're trying to get another one. We are going to be offering yoga classes, meditation classes. We have a nutritionist. So we're really trying to look at the wider world of wellness, figuring if we can maximize someone's wellness, that's going to maximize not only their health, but also their fertility and conception rates.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And I mean, it just makes complete sense. So when we were talking prior to the show and you told me your concept, I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I can't see why it wouldn't be done that way. Like after you explained it to me, I'm like, it's amazing. I do want to spend some time on what you're on your new workshop that you're launching in groups. So, I mean, that's really exciting. So, to me, it goes right along line with your overall practice and the other things you're doing, and with integrative medicine is the new workshop. So, the Conscious Fertility Guide. So, tell us a little bit more about that, please.
Yeah, so I designed this Conscious Fertility Guide to be a hands-on program to optimize the health status before conception. And it's going to be, it's going to take 12 weeks, but I'm probably going to just meet once a month and basically go over different modules, and then they have sort of homeworks to do that relate to the modules. So modules 1 to 3 are basically about what to eat, how to eat, and how to move your body. Modules 4 to 6, basically then in between there's an integration week that we get together and kind of decide how's it all going. The next 3 modules are learning about meditation, having faith in the process and in time, and also management of one's time during the process. And then they, again, integrate that, and they do homework. Every week you do homework on each of the modules. And then the last 3 modules are basically related to your relationship to yourself, to your mind, your body, and your spirit, relationship to your partner, because usually there's a partner, or if you're single and you're going through it, relationship to the fact that you are single, right, and you're committing to being a mom by yourself, and then relationship to the community. Who is there for you to support you during this process so you're not alone? And then we'll also have some additional talks if they want on toxins in the environment, somatic healing, and other ways to heal. Even trauma healing will be offered. And so, and then we have 3 levels of the workbook, and there's level 1, 2, and 3, and people might actually be at level 1 in regards to what they eat, but a level 3 in regards to their movement and exercise routine. So they'll be able to guide themselves in the level of involvement that they need that is good for them in the program.
And so you said in terms of length of time, so is it, so there's an in-person workshop, so what's the like time commitment on that, just so people have a feel, in the location areas that you plan on holding it, like that kind of stuff, please?
So I think the beta test of the workshop, the first go through, we're going to hold it in my office. We have a community space where I can sit with people and show slides and go over it all. And even though it's 12 weeks, I think in today's society, being realistic, people may not be able to commit to every single week coming to the office. So in the first go-around, we'll probably do a workshop once a month, and we'll present the topics of the first few, like the first 3 to 4 modules, then the next 3 to 4, and then the next, right? So once a month, they get presented the modules, and then week 1, they go home and they work on module 1, and we'll have it all recorded so they can re-watch it. Right? And week 1 will be, they're focusing on, all right, I'm going to eat, what am I going to eat? How am I going to choose my food? And I'm going to try and pick 1 new vegetable every week, right? And then week 2 is how to eat. It's reminding people to rest and digest and eat in a social setting. So many of us eat in our cars, on the run, and we're not really digesting our food because we're in fight or flight mode. And so reminding people how to slow down, how to actually, there's a piece in there on mindfulness, if you've ever seen how to mindfully eat a raisin, and they take 5 minutes to eat a raisin. Okay?
No. Wow.
Yeah, so imagine that. You have to smell it, you have to look at it, you have to feel it, you really have to sensually get into the raisin. An amazing YouTube video. But that's how to mindfully eat. We really need to stop and savor the flavors and be thankful that we have food on our table, right? And think about, where did the food come from, and the farmer that raised it, and are we eating food that came from the ground, or was it made in a factory in the middle of America? And if we are mindful, then we're often going to end up eating healthier, right? Because we're going to think about what we're eating, right? Even the old, you know, in the old days, everybody says grace before a meal, right? Or it says a prayer. And that 20 seconds actually slows you down to go, do I really want to eat this? Am I really hungry? And do I want this piece of food? Right? So each week, the homework is guided towards the module, right? So we'll get together, like I said, once a month, because I think that's reasonable for people to block out a few hours on a Saturday to commit to this. Going forward, hopefully, you know, we'll hopefully have it online. And then once a week, they can watch the video that pertains to that week. And then they'll have a practice buddy to work with to, again, have support going through.
Wow, that's really exciting, Tina. It sounds like an amazing program. So if somebody's listening to this and they want more information either on the program or on your practice, what's the best way for them to reach out and to learn more?
Yeah, so 3 simple ways. Our website is womensreproduction.com, and the information about the workshop will be up on the website next week. They can call our phone number at 818-986-1648, and or they can send an email to fertility@womensreproduction.com.
That's fantastic. And as a side note to the listeners, this will be up by next week. So whenever you're listening to this, it will already be on the website. So don't worry about that or about waiting. Just go to the website once you listen to this. And Tina, one more time, the website, please.
womensreproduction.com.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Tina, it's been awesome catching up with you, and congrats on your new program and obviously all the great work you're doing to help your patients. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. Hope you had a lot of fun listening, because we had a lot of fun making it for you. So just keep on tuning in. Don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Money Matters Top Tips, don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Leave us some comments in the video section. I'd love to have a dialogue with you there. If it is, and don't worry, if it's anything that has to do with reproduction, I'm gonna put Tina on the hook for answering that question, because I will not have an answer for you. So thanks again. So thank you so much again for coming on the show, Tina. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Adam. It's been great. Have a great day and a great weekend.